Hi, I'm Lynn Paolella of Cambrook. I am mom also to Cameron and Brooke, and they have phenylketonuria just like you. My role in Cambrook is to create all of the low-protein food products that find their way into your home. I also serve as Cambrook's patient advocate. Cambrook proudly sponsors the adventures of Ruby Pricklebottom, which is a story about Ruby and her family's journey into the world of PKU. After finding out that Ruby was born with a rare metabolic disorder, Ruby and her family must learn how to manage the PKU diet in order to keep Ruby healthy and happy. We will follow the Pricklebottom's journey from diagnosis to the first day that she goes to school and find out how Ruby manages to be extraordinary, just like you. So this is the Ruby Pricklebottom storybook, and here we go. The Pricklebottom's family had just settled in at home with their new baby when the phone rang. "Hello," answered Mr. Pricklebottom. "Hello," Mr. Pricklebottom said. "It's about baby Ruby. We need you to come into our office as soon as possible," replied the voice on the other end of the phone. The next morning, the nervous hedgehog family listened as Dr. Bandit broke the news. "Ruby has phenylketonuria," said Dr. Bandit. "Phenyl what?" asked Mrs. Pricklebottom, holding Ruby just a little bit closer. "Phenylketonuria," said Dr. Bandit. "We call it PKU for short. Ruby's body can't break down one of the amino acids found in all protein, so she will need a special diet." The Pricklebottoms listened carefully as Dr. Bandit explained. "This is protein. It is made up of 20 parts called amino acid. This one right over here is called phenylalanine, or Phe for short," he said, pointing to a chart on the wall. "Ruby's body cannot process much protein or much Phe, and eating too much of it can harm her body and her brain." Dr. Bandit continued, "Ruby should only eat as much Phe as her body can use. That way she can grow up to be a happy, healthy hedgehog." Mr. Pricklebottom thought for a moment. "How will we know how much Phe her body can use?" "You can check with a simple blood spot," answered Dr. Bandit. "Miss Bab will be Ruby's dietitian. She will be waiting for you at the metabolic clinic and will show you exactly what to do. Everything is going to be just fine. You'll see." Later, the Pricklebottoms arrived at the metabolic clinic, still feeling a bit confused and overwhelmed. "Hello, I'm Miss Bab, and I'll be taking good care of you and Ruby. It's so lovely to meet you. What a beautiful new daughter you have," Miss Bab said warmly. Mrs. Pricklebottom looked down at Ruby and asked, "Will she be okay?" "Oh yes," replied Miss Bab. "PKU isn't so bad. It's easily taken care of by putting Ruby on a low-Phe diet and medical formula. You'll count how much Phe Ruby eats each day and try to have her eat a magic number of Phe so that her body gets just exactly what it needs." Miss Bab paused to make sure the new parents were understanding, and then she continued. "Her magic number will change as she grows. So we like to get blood spots regularly to make sure she is on track." "Blood spots?" Ruby's big brother asked. "What's that?" "Oh, don't worry, Roscoe," Miss Bab answered. "Blood spots are just a little drop of Ruby's blood on a special paper. We send it to the lab, and the result is a number that tells us if there's too much, too little, or just the right amount of Phe in Ruby's diet." Miss Bab smiled, and then she continued, "You know, Roscoe, Ruby is very, very lucky to have a big brother just like you to watch over her." "Thanks," Roscoe beamed. The Pricklebottoms spent a little more time taking talking with Miss Bab and going over information about treating Ruby's PKU. Upon leaving the metabolic clinic, they were ready to get started with Ruby's special diet. Time passed and Ruby grew more and more each day. Her family learned how to measure and count Phi, and even Roscoe helped out. Ruby loved her formula, and life was good. And there they are. It's winter, cold winter day, and they're in their little stump home. Miss Bab knew from the start that the Pricklebottoms would do a great job with Ruby's PKU, and she was right. She checked in with them regularly and let them know just how Ruby's blood spot results came back. From time to time, Ruby's magic number needed to change just a little bit, but that was just as they expected because she was growing and she needed more Phi as she grew. Now remember, make sure Ruby drinks all of her formula and gets her magic number of Phi each day, said Miss Bab. Do her blood spot on Tuesday, and we'll talk about the result as soon as it comes back from the lab. Thanks, Miss Bab. We'll talk soon, Mr. Pricklebottom replied. That Tuesday afternoon, as Mrs. Pricklebottom was preparing to do the blood spot, she noticed that Ruby was nowhere to be seen. Roscoe, can you go find Ruby, please? It's time for her blood spot, said Mrs. Pricklebottom. Sure, Mom, Roscoe replied. You know what I'm noticing here right on the counter are some of the Cambric food products. Ruby! Ruby! Roscoe called. He heard a small sniffle coming from under Ruby's bed. Pulling up the blanket and asked Ruby, "What are you doing under there?" "I hide, Roscoe," Ruby answered tearfully. Roscoe crawled under the bed to cuddle his sister. "Why are you hiding?" "Spot hurt." "No, ouchie," she answered. "Ow." Roscoe said softly, "You don't want to do your blood spot?" "No, ouchie, no, ouchie," Ruby whined. "Listen, Ruby, I know that doing your blood spot hurts a little, but it's over really fast and it's really important," explained Roscoe. He continued, "It tells us if your magic number of Phi is still right for your body. Come on out, okay? I can hold your hand the whole time." Ruby slowly came out from under the bed. Roscoe gave her a hug and they walked to the kitchen where Mrs. Pricklebottom was waiting. 1, 2, 3. Mrs. Pricklebottom pricked Ruby's finger on 3 and let a small little drop of blood fall onto the paper. Ruby didn't even cry. Roscoe wrapped a bandage around her finger and said, "Way to go, Ruby, way to go. Ready? Ready to go and play?" "Go, go, go," she squealed and raced off down the hall laughing as she went. Roscoe chased after her, proud of how brave she had been. Ruby had grown and grown. She was brave every time she had to do a blood spot and even picked out her own bandage. Before long, it was time for Ruby's first day of school. The stump house was brewing with excitement as Mrs. Pricklebottom hurried to pack Ruby's lunch. And oh my goodness, look at what she's packing it with. I see Cambric's tortilla chips and her peanut butter and some of Cambric's bread to make her sandwich. Once Ruby was all set, she stood nervously with Roscoe as they waited on the bus. "Don't worry, Ruby. You'll love school. There are lots and lots of fun things to do, and you'll make new friends in no time. And if you need me, I'll be right down the hall," he assured her. Ruby took a deep breath, smiled, and squeezed Roscoe's hand. And onto the bus they went. As they walked into the school, Roscoe gave Ruby one more bit of advice. Remember, Ruby, don't share snacks with anyone. You have to stick to your diet, he said. You know what your body needs. Stick to your magic number. Got it, replied Ruby, as she gave Roscoe one last hug. And off they went into school. You must be Ruby, said Miss J. Come on in. We're going to have a great day. I've heard all about you. Did you know I was Roscoe's teacher too? Ruby nodded. We're having some playtime, so why don't you find your desk and put your things away, and then you may choose an activity. Ruby came in cautiously and found her desk. A small gray mouse scampered over to her. Hi, I'm Molly. Want to play blocks with me? Ruby smiled and felt relieved to have already made a friend. Hi, I'm Ruby. Yes, let's go. Molly and Ruby played all morning, and Miss J even let them sit by one another at lunch. Hey, Ruby, during lunch, Molly said, do you want a piece of my mom's special cheese? She makes the best cheese wheels. Ruby replied, I'd better not, but thanks anyway. I have PKU, so I only eat my special foods and drink a special formula. Molly looked puzzled. Well, can't you just have a little nibble, she asked. Well, PKU is sort of serious, Molly, Ruby continued. If I eat things I'm not supposed to, I will feel very yucky and my body won't be healthy anymore. It can even hurt my brain. It's nice that you want to share, but I know that my special low-protein foods keep me feeling my best. Okay? Molly nodded, finally understanding. Sure, Ruby. I want you to be okay. Wow, I'm glad you know so much about your PKU. The two friends finished eating their lunches and chatted happily. Ruby told Molly all about her blood spots and her magic Phi number, and Molly told Ruby how brave she thought that Ruby must be to handle her PKU so well. As Roscoe and Ruby rode the bus back home that afternoon, they talked about the day. Roscoe had just finished telling Ruby about his new teacher when she spotted a box at their front door. Guess what that box is? It's a box from Cambrook. Look, Ruby, he exclaimed. Your new PKU food just arrived. Ruby skipped off the bus, excited to see her yummy new goodies. Getting her food in the mail was almost like opening a present. It was a great surprise and a perfect ending to a perfect day. That night at dinner, Ruby had a brand new low-protein dish. The Pricklebottoms listened as Ruby told them about Molly and about how she taught her all about PKU. She had been brave and strong. It was in that moment that Mr. and Mrs. Pricklebottom both knew that Ruby would be even better than okay. Ruby Pricklebottom would be extraordinary, just like you. And here she's eating her special low-protein soup and bread from Cambrook. So I want to thank you for letting me share this special story and the special story about Ruby Pricklebottom, and for allowing me to be part of your nutritional journey. Thank you so much, and until next time, bye-bye.